Never change your phone number because I had to recently, and on the very first day of having this number, I started getting a bunch of texts from a random group chat of people I don't know. But over time, I realized that this was a family group chat, and my new number must have been one of the family members' old number. But they didn't know that, so sometimes I would purposely start drama in the family group chat whenever I was bored. Like after about a week, I knew all of their names, and I knew a little bit about each one of them. And one big thing that they would always text about in the group chat was their daughter Janessa, because Janessa was dating a boy that the rest of the family did not approve of. So one time, the group chat was pretty dry, so I just decided to send a text and say, Janessa, how could you not tell us that you got engaged? And immediately after sending this, the whole group chat just went crazy. Like family members were calling, texting, leaving the group, and Janessa literally just replied in all caps saying, that is not true. But since the family didn't like the guy already, I think they kind of believed that this was something Janessa would do, so they didn't believe her. So at this point, I kind of felt bad and felt like I took it too far, so I just decided to tell everyone that I am not the person they think I am. And right away, they just kicked me out of the group chat. I was low-key hurt though, because I kind of felt like I was becoming a member of the family. But Janessa, I hope there's no hard feelings. I wish the best for you and your boyfriend.
Why does having a crush make you become a freak? Because one time I liked this girl and we would FaceTime, but every once in a while she would mute her mic. So I asked, why do you keep muting your mic? But she didn't want to tell me because she said it was embarrassing. But I kept asking her, so she said, fine, I'll tell you. Then she said, I mute my mic every time I have to fart. You know what my response was? I said, oh, don't mute your mic. I want to hear your farts. Bro, why would I say that? I didn't even mean it in a weird way. I just wanted her to be comfortable with me, but I couldn't explain that now. Like, did I actually want to hear her farts? Well, no, but it practically sounded like I was begging to hear them. I just know this is what I looked like to her. Please let me smell them. It's safe to say me and that girl did not work out.
Does anyone else's mom just tell random people your darkest secrets for no reason? Because I love my mom, but I don't tell her secrets anymore because the moment I do, I know that she'll go down Hollywood Boulevard with a megaphone and tell everyone else. And it's not like she's trying to be mean. I think all moms just naturally do this. But it gets even worse because not only will she tell other people my secrets, but she'll slightly change the story to make it sound more embarrassing. Like one time I was at dinner with my mom and her friend has a 2-year-old boy. So she kept complaining about how her son is always wetting the bed. And you want to know what my mom said back? She says, oh, that's normal. Tyler wet the bed until he was 14. First of all, that's not true. I stopped wetting the bed when I was like a lot younger. But one night when I was 14, I drank too much water before bed and I ended up wetting the bed that night. But second of all, why would you tell them that? She wasn't even asking about me. You initiated that. Like, I get that you want to relate to her, but at what cost? And if you're gonna tell everyone my business, the least you could do is not make it sound worse than it is. I can't even blame her though, because she doesn't do it on purpose. I'm just tired of her accidentally cooking me.
Why are 911 operators so calm? Like I just saw this video where a lady was literally being chased by someone with a machete. And she was on the 911 call like, help, they're chasing me, please hurry. And the operator was just like, okay, ma'am, can you tell me your name? What? Like if I was the 911 operator right there, I would be like, a machete? Run, girl, run! And trust me, I know they're calm on purpose, but I feel like if I was being chased by someone and the only response I got was, what's your name? I would be even more stressed because like, do you even care? The operators talk as if you just interrupted something that they were doing. Like in one of the videos, I could hear the operator yawn. Imagine running for your life and the 911 operator yawns. You're cooked. You're cooked. Why do teachers get pregnant so much during school? And it makes going to school so weird because one time I had a teacher that was 8 months pregnant for like half the year. And randomly in the middle of class, she would always scream and she would be like, oh, sorry guys, it's the baby kicking. Like we would literally be reading a book because it was English class and she would be like, but then Romeo, and we would be terrified like, girl, did your water just break? But she could see that we were always petrified when she would scream. So she would try to make jokes and be like, I might pop this baby out right here. No one laughed when she said stuff like that because we were like, yeah, you probably will. But you want to know what the most funny part is? The next year, I had her for a class again, and she was pregnant again. Like, how freaky are you getting during summer break? We need to give teachers more time off so they don't gotta teach a class while they're 13 months pregnant. Why are parents so dramatic over text? Like just yesterday, I got a text from my mom that said, just know I'll always love you, ... That's a little weird to randomly text someone, but I didn't think anything more of it until she sent another text saying, it's too late. So at this point, I'm like, okay, my mom is clearly crying out for help. So I call her with my heart beating out of my chest. And I'm like, Mom, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, honey, why? So I'm like, cause you just sent me a text that made it sound like I'm never gonna see you again. And she goes, oh no, I'm okay. So then I say, then what did you mean when you said it's too late? And she goes, oh, I was saying it's too late to make dinner. Can you pick something up on your way home? Out of all the possible ways you could have said, it's too late to make dinner, how did you say it in the worst way possible? Like, are parents just allergic to giving context when texting people? If you told me 2 people were texting me and you said one of them was my mom and the other one was Ghostface from the Scream movies, I wouldn't be able to tell a difference because they typed the exact same. Like, I shouldn't be getting goosebumps from casually texting my parents.
Never name a group chat with your friends something weird, because one time my friends were sending a bunch of messages in our group chat, but I was taking a nap, so I didn't hear any of the notifications, but my mom did. So after hearing the notification sound go off like 20 times, she decided to look at my phone to see why it was making so much noise. And after she did, she woke me up and she was like, Tyler, why do you keep getting a bunch of notifications from Jeffrey Dahmer's refrigerator? And I was like, they're my friends, Mom, but she doesn't really know much about Jeffrey Dahmer. So when I explained to her that he used to put some weird things in his fridge, my mom was like, why would you name your group chat after that? And how am I supposed to explain to someone over the age of 35 why young people give group chats weird names like this? So I was just like, honestly, Mom, I don't know. Have you ever met someone that doesn't know how to show affection? Like, you can't tell if they just had the best day of their life or the worst day of their life, because either way, they're the exact same. Like, my friend that goes to Harvard is like this, and I was there when he opened his letter to see if he got in or not, and we all thought he got denied because when he opened his letter, this was literally his reaction. Oh. He quite possibly just got the best news of his whole life, and his reaction was to slightly shake his head and say, oh? But this is where it gets crazy, because he's the exact same way when something bad happens too. One time he missed a day of school, so the next day when he was back, I asked him why he was gone. And he literally just replied by saying, my grandma died. What? Dog, it's okay to cry a little bit, or at least act a little sad. You don't always have to be nonchalant. But it's not like he's even trying to act tough. This is just how he naturally is. Like, you should see this guy when he's on a roller coaster. This is literally how he is. Have you ever met siblings that you know would date each other if they could? Because one day at school, I met this new guy and he told me to add him on social media, so I did. And then I clicked through his profile to look at his pictures, and I see a photo of a girl sitting on his lap, so I'm thinking, oh, he didn't tell me that he has a girlfriend. So I looked at the picture again, but then I looked at the person who he tagged in it, and that was when I saw that she had the same last name as him. So that was when I realized, oh my gosh, that's his sister. That's gross. But you know what makes this crazy? I went onto her profile to see if she had any weird pictures of them together too. And then I see a picture of her hugging a guy. So I'm like, oh, yep, another freaky pic with her brother. But no, it was the one thing that could have been worse than that. It was her boyfriend. And he looked exactly like her brother. She was dating the guy because he reminded her of her brother. That confirmed it for me. They definitely want to date each other. I just met a Gen Z parent for the first time, and the next generation is doomed. So I was at the DMV, and I sat next to this girl who was getting a new license because hers expired. And she showed me her old one, and I saw that her birthday was the exact same as mine. And as I'm talking to her, I see a little kid run by, and she goes, Noah, stop running. And I said, how do you know that kid? And she was like, oh, that's my son. First of all, why aren't you watching him? But second of all, we're the same age and you already have a kid? I'm out here still playing with Legos and you have a kid? But anyways, we started talking about her kid, and she told me that when she found out she was pregnant, she was terrified because she was like, what if I don't even like the baby? I mean, that's kind of a crazy thing to say, but I guess it's fair. And then she told me how her son starts school next week and that she's really scared for that to happen too, because what if he asks her for help on his homework? And I was like, what do you mean? If he needs help, just help him. And she said, well, if he goes up to me and says, Mama, how do I solve this math problem? What do I say? I'm not good at math either. And the more she spoke, the more I was like, damn, you're kind of right. I can't do math either. Now I'm scared to have a kid. Thanks a lot, Noah.